The women on the compound are kicking ass and taking names, y'all. Ruth and Zane have commanded the attention of the highest, and Daikon's going to be left on the back burner. This is my review, commentary, breakdown of Tyler Perry's Ruthless Season 3, Episode number 18, titled No Mercy. It's a whole lot of that be going on up in this kitchen, right? People are getting yelled at, secrets are being exposed, plots to escape the compound, everything going on except the cooking. The naive and clearly inexperienced soldier put his weapon down, good people, and this is where things went awry for everybody. And Lacey saw this as her opportunity to escape the compound all over again. And this is very much deja vu, right? Where Lacey found herself on the other side of the guard's service weapon as she contemplated leaving. Now let's pause for just a moment here because Lacey didn't learn her lesson from the first failed escape plan. And at this point, I don't even think it was a plan at all, because this is definitely a spur-of-the-moment reaction. Now, she's too far from the gate, first of all. Then we saw that she had to pretty much threaten Lewis's life a few times before he actually gave her those keys. She tossed some hot grease on the older mother and just decided to go for it. And the entire time, Zane was trying to talk some sense into her, but at this point, Lacey was fed up and she was ready to go. And she actually tried to convince scary Zane to come once again, but she should have known from the last time that Zane, she ain't leaving the compound, nor is she going to try to. And when she figured out that she's all on her own, and this is where Lewis launched at her and tried to, I guess, get his gun back, and Lacey shot him. Boom. Down he went. And of course, this gunshot was heard throughout the compound, including the highest and Daikon. And Daikon is so focused on his love affair with Ruth and the highest that his soldiers are slipping. He's off his A game, and this is going to cost him dearly. And Daikon been slipping for a minute because we all remember when Daikon used to be on it, right? You couldn't breathe hard and Daikon not know about it. Daikon used to be everywhere all at one time. He'd pop up from behind the trees, around the buses. He'd walk through the living room walls. He used to be everywhere, but lately he's been slacking for sure. So Daikon left. He left to see what was happening, and he confronted two other soldiers that were at the front gate, and they told him that they didn't have a clue as to who fired those shots, right? But then he asked them about Manny and Lewis. And I told y'all that these two were not equipped to run the compound. Manny is in the infirmary, getting stitched up by Elder Mother, and Lewis is on the kitchen floor bleeding out, with Elder Mother's face melting and Lewis slowly leaving Earth. As Zane begs Lacey to try and help them, Lacey already knows what time it is. She knows that she's a dead woman walking. So she just jumped into the truck and went out like Cleo and set it off. And someone else had these same sentiments on VKJ's channel. So yeah, she went down with the fight, busted right through those gates, but she didn't get that far because this time she had already caught like 2 or 3 bullets, maybe more, and it was lights out for Lacey. Now, these gunshots were also heard by Laura and Ruth, who were still on their Disney World tour in the women's trailer. Aaron and River also heard the deadly shots. And this, of course, concerned Aaron, but River told him, "Oh, there's nothing to worry about. Let's just go take a shower." Well, he said, "Let me show you the showers," but this is actually what he meant, right? Then here comes Aaron. "Oh, what I wouldn't give for a hot shower." And Lord, what did he say that for? This is music to River's ears, right? Mind you, Aaron and his wife have been traveling in that van and camping out right outside the gate. So them underarms need to feel some warm, soapy water right about now, right? But he got Aaron in the shower, and the whole time while they're in there, River's trying to feel him out, literally, to see how far he can take things sexually with Aaron, telling Aaron about all the love and all the compassion that's there on the compound. And he wants to wash Aaron's back because it means that they're free. And of course, it's made Aaron a little bit uncomfortable, but let that have been somebody else. They would have clocked River's little short beat him to a pulp and did the 2-step right out of that shower. So Aaron handled it a little bit more calmly. He pulled away, but then River told him that he wanted him to wash the front of his body too, because they're all one in the raccoon. And this is when Ruth and Lauren showed up, and they're both just standing there, naked as 2 jaybirds. And Lauren was pissed off, but she maintained her composure as well. So she quickly diverted and changed the subject and started talking about the gunshots that they all heard. Then here comes Joan, and she wanted to show them all the finance trailer where she works. And Ruth did tell River that Laura was scared. Now, Ruth was giving her all the game on their little tour, and River was too, so they both have full knowledge of what's going down on the compound. They know about the torture, the murders, the punishment trailers, the sex. Now, whether they want to believe it all or not, it's clearly on them. You can thank Ruth playing if you want to, but they will find out sooner than later. And it looks like they both, River and Ruth here, they have goals to make the new blood feel so uncomfortable to the point that they be turned off by the Rakadushi lifestyle and thereby not join. But Joan has a different agenda, and we'll get to that a little bit later. Then we have Daikon telling Elder Mother Supreme that the highest wanted to see her. Old woman. Did y'all know that, just a fan fact here, that some of the dialogue between Elder Mother and Daikon are ad-lib? Did y'all know that? She mentioned this in her interview that I did with her last week. And if you haven't looked at it, what's wrong with you? I'll leave it linked above, so be sure to check it out. But this kind of reminded me of two actors that I had and who would tend to do this. They'd ad-lib during a live show, right? And I'm sitting there, front and center on the night of the show, praying, palm sweating, heart racing, the whole nine, right? Just anticipating everything to go smoothly, praying that my actors would deliver a flawless performance. So when I heard the line coming through the speakers that I didn't write, it's like time stood still. My heart skipped a beat, right? I looked up on that stage and my mind is thinking about a million thoughts in like a matter of half a second, right? Then I heard the audience laughing and cheering. Then suddenly I could breathe again. You know, at this point, I had to start laughing too, out of relief that their ad-lib went over quite well. And had it not went over well, I would have politely pulled my actor to the side and tell him, look, don't you ever do that again. But no, the ad-libs take a certain skill, a certain level of experience, and you just gotta know how to absorb the energy that's in the room, right? And play into that. So shout out to Lenny and Baja because they're very good at it. So she made it in to see the highest, and y'all, I was so scared that the highest was gonna slap Elder Mother again like he did when he got held up by Oliver, Lacey, and Paula. Oh man, I felt so bad for Elder Mother. Then after they got it all out, Elder Mother said, I'm gonna walk myself to the punishment trailer. She already knew what time it is, but the highest surprised us all, and he extended his arm and escorted her out of the trailer. I thought that was so sweet. And of course, I know about all the madness that goes on, but I really thought he was gonna hit her because we just never know which way the highest mind is gonna flop, right? I was anticipating the slap because she was the one who convinced him to keep Lacey around so that she could be converted. But now she shot one of his men, and he didn't take it as hard as I thought he would, which is good. So the gunshots were also heard by the three musketeers here. And at first, they thought it was the FBI. And because the shooting stopped, they knew it was the soldiers instead. And they just kind of went back and forth about how they don't trust each other. But one thing that they did agree on is coming up with a plan to get out of the punishment trailer. But no one actually etched it out. So I guess they'll just sit there and rot. I don't know. I mean, they're all FBI and can't come up with a plan. This concerns me. So the highest and Elder Mother go out into the yard to ask Daikon what was going on. And Daikon didn't know what was going on yet. He didn't fully understand what had already happened. And as we already know, the highest is losing a lot of confidence and trust in Daikon running the compound. So I'm sure that this is yet another indication that Daikon's reign as second in command may be ending sooner than we think. And in the meantime, Joan is having a good old time in the finance trader, lying to her friends, fronting. And the new blood just is confused. So they want Joan to clear things up for them, but Ruth done already gave them the game. But they think that she's joking. Why won't Joan tell her friends what's going on the compound? I also did a video about this. If you missed it, I'll leave it linked above. But this is huge, guys, because Joan's true colors are beginning to reveal themselves. Will we see a huge shift in this character? It's kind of hard to tell at this point. Elder Mother and Daikon finally made it to the kitchen, and of course they're asking 1,000,001 questions as everybody's ears on the compound just yearning to hear about what has happened. Zane is frantically telling them what happened, as Elder Mother lay on the floor already gone to meet the Raku, and Lewis is over there begging for help. The new Lewis, the dark-skinned Lewis. We had a light-skinned Lewis and a dark-skinned Lewis. And if y'all want to know how this final scene came about, TJ Jackson, the actor who played the dark-skinned Lewis, he explained it in a comment at the end of one of my videos. So if you guys are interested, I'll read it right after this recap. And he broke it all down for us. And listen, y'all know Elder Mother swears she a doctor or a nurse or whatever doctrine she's faking today. And she said Elder Mother probably went into cardiac arrest. Zane told him what happened, and where he went wrong is where he put his service weapon down, you guys, right? And this is what made the highest lose his marbles with him. And to make matters worse, he gave Lacey the keys. And the highest is more embarrassed than anything because he's trying to impress the new bloods, Aaron and Laura. So because Lewis slipped up and embarrassed him as a soldier, he's going to take him out of his misery. Then as he's taunting Lewis, Zane called the highest name. So I'm going to stop it right here and go ahead and explain to you guys from the actor TJ Jackson. He explains it and breaks down what happened. Love the recap. Just a little backstory. Josiah initially was a character in the show. I was originally cast as a cult member that appeared in 3 episodes, 11, 13, and 15. After I wrapped on 15, I got a call from the AD informing me that Mr. Perry liked me and was bringing me back. When he brought me back, he didn't add new scenes for my character. He replaced me with scenes that were originally written for Lewis. Hence, the slip up from Zane to the elder mother in the scene with Manny. Speaking of Zane, she is the reason I received the name Josiah, and Josiah actually had a crush on her. This was a quick backstory I created to help me prepare for those new scenes. Why I put my gun down, as an example. When I told Zane this, her intention on asking to shoot me changed. I'd personally like to believe when she interrupted the highest, it was a slip of the tongue because she didn't want me to be killed. But then she couldn't take that back. So instead, she had to come up with something else. And Josiah was going to go out. It was going to be by his love and the one who created him. Thanks for the love, everyone, and for rocking with Josiah this season. Much love. So that was a question that I had too, because I was wondering, because I knew that she was trying to stop the highest. That was all she was trying to do, but she couldn't go back after that. She had to shoot him. But I don't know, because that could have went either way, right? But she did take a chance. She banked on the fact. She knew that the highest was going to be impressed with her. So she just had to go through with it. But she could have, I don't know, if she would have tried to wiggle her way out of it, maybe she would have gotten another slap by Elder Mother. I don't know. But she decided to shoot him, and that ended the scene. So that's it, you guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You know I'd appreciate it. And if you're a fan of Tyler Perry's Ruthless like I am, go ahead and sub to the channel for more videos just like this one. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of Ruthless TV, you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.